Welcome to the JackHorny.com show.
Okay folks, this is going to be a short vid because I'm going to post the details rather than just read them out. Today's subject is the porn ban, which I believe is supposed to start next month, July 2019. As I record this, it's June 2019, so we're just a few weeks away. Now, this porn ban garbage, or whatever you want to call it, has been put off and put off and put off, mainly because it's unworkable. Now, to begin with, right, let's say the history, because this is it's probably worth noting, because you sort of have to look at the context, as it were. Now, up till around the year 2000, I forget which year it was, porn was sort of relatively illegal in the UK. When I say that, I mean the hardcore stuff. And I might be wrong on this. The story I was told was, a company said the rest of Europe has porn, and so England's breaking the EU rules because it's not having it. Apparently, if you've got it in one country, you've got to have it in all. This is a story I was always told. I don't know if it's true. And then, from then, England then said they played silly games. Rather than making it just freely available, they labelled it R18 and sold it in licensed sex shops, which meant you couldn't order it over, but you couldn't mail order it. You had to physically go into the shops, though you could, I believe, order it overseas, and it was hit and miss if you'd get it or not. I think it was sort of legal. It was a sort of grey area. Obviously it was cheap as well and easier, so presumably everyone just mail ordered it in. So that sort of took us going for a few years, and obviously the internet took over. It was easier just to join websites, which you need a credit card, which obviously you have to be 18 to have a credit card. So there you go. Now, oh, by the way, to have the internet, one also presumes you have to be 18 to get the contract. So therefore, anybody with broadband today, one presumes, is over 18 or has been given permission by the contract signer. So one presumes that whoever signs up is responsible for what anybody uses it for. So if somebody under 18 goes on adult sites, presumably you're responsible, not the website owners, which is what this new law seems to be. Sorry, the dogs are going mental. Now, that's now a few years ago we had this. I was told it was an EU directive or something, where porn sites had to sort of be regulated or something. I wasn't quite sure what the regulations were. Not porn sites, any sites with video on or something. I'm not fully sure, but it introduced something that I think no other country had. I might be wrong on that, but great, sorry, the dog's having a play fight. Great, that's in the background. Give up. It was called, let me remember, so I used to quote it all the time because the firm doesn't exist now. I always forget it. Give up! Sorry. Naughty dogs. AVOD, that's it. No, ATVOD, ATVOD. Now, what they were to do, it wasn't technically porn, it was any site that had video on had to pay a silly fee. For what? We don't know. So it didn't matter if you was filming, I don't know, the church or something. if you put video on your site, you had to pay a fee. Now, if I remember, it started off some stupid big fee, and then they brought it down to just over £100 a year. Quite honestly, what the fee got you was no one knows. I don't think they provided any service. It was more like in the old days when we had dog licenses for dogs, where you had to go to the post office and get a dog license. It was rather pointless. I mean, it's not like today where your dog's chipped and therefore if it's lost, it's found. I don't think the dog license actually achieved anything. It was just a tax, I think. One of many taxes we seem to have in the UK made up. So anyway, so I keep saying anyway, it's a habit when you don't notice you're saying it until I play these back. The ATVOD then charged, if you didn't have video you were okay. Now the way around it was obvious. YouTube, you just embedded the YouTube vid because you wasn't hosting it. My understanding is you didn't have to then pay this license fee, and obviously that's the way around it. But it was only applying to UK sites, by the way, so it automatically put UK sites as a disadvantage towards all the sites. So you had the Conservative government at the time who wanted to basically screw over UK sites for some reason. Well done. Now this affected small porn sites because they would host the videos. So what they did was, some closed, others simply stated they'd moved abroad to another country. They either did move or they just said it. I mean, you could never prove it. And that was it. I mean, like I did for temporary, I just couldn't be bothered and removed all the videos and just had pictures only. I've put the videos back now because the ATVOD have shut down, but that was the way around it, which obviously pissed off customers, but you know what I mean, it was the only way I could pay. The trouble was, there seemed to start being new rules, such as the pictures in your tour had to be edited. It's just so much silly little games they were playing, layering it up. It was simpler just to avoid them because you could just see it was getting worse and worse. Now this went on a few years and I always said they'd not last. Suddenly out the blue there was an announcement saying no more ATVOD, thanks very much, they existed. I mean, that was basically the message on by the agency that was overseeing them. I think at the time, I might be wrong, that's the British Film Sense. It was like a part of them. It was hard to tell. I mean, it's just, I always knew it wouldn't last. It was just a complete, even a solicitor told me this, said they're just a waste of time because it can't, by definition, last that long. It was just silly. Some paid, some didn't. I mean, people getting fined a fortune. So anyway, recently, out of nowhere, there was Daily Mail seemed to whip up a bit of hysteria, saying all the kids were being dropping dead or something from seeing porn or something. And a children's charity, came out with a report which turned out to be not legit. By that, it wasn't a university study. It was some sort of paid research group, which, by the sounds of it, they were paid to get the results they wanted. It was just nonsense. So it was sort of, and the charities never ever apologised. They sort of dismissed it. But based on that, and Daily Mail doing the thing, the government panicked and put in, I suspect they panicked. They seem to bow down to anything the papers tell them to do. They brought in this stupid, pointless law in the hope that it would work, which was, this is the idea. You have to age verify yourself to just go on a site. Now this is where things go messed up. Twitter and not most other free sites are exempt, because the rule is if you've got less than 1/3 porn on it, which, I mean, how does anyone even know? You just claim it. I mean, Twitter could be 9% porn. I mean, I doubt if they admit to that. It's just some made up figure to try and let Twitter off and other sites, which is appalling. Yeah, well, they're exempt. And then the argument was they'll only target the big sites, which is the tube sites. No, so when I say big sites, I think the wording was sites with a huge amount of traffic, i.e. porn tubes, rather than the tiny sites, paid sites presumably. Now, right, sorry folks, I'm going to be walking next to a road, so I don't know how well this will record. If it's bad, I might do it again. But anyway, I'm going to post the details below. So, what you have is a situation where they came out this nonsense about certain sites will have to be age verified, which this is where you do it. Now, when you think about it, unless you sat in front of somebody, you can't age verify them. It's a joke, it's pointless. You can only sort of do it. It's not true. So we have a situation now that the government is encouraging people, scammers, because this is going to be the greatest scam trick going. If you want to steal people's details, all you have to do is set up an age verification site and pretend to take people's details, and you can ask for anything, and people are going to do it. So you've got a problem there. We don't know who the age verification firms are. I mean, I do. I mean, they keep saying, "Oh, we're based in England," but how do I know? I mean, you can just say anything. I don't know these people. Why should I want to put a company on my site that I do not know who it is? They've got criminal records, where they're based, if they're in Russia, China, Mexico, India, the moon, Mars. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they could be based next door to me, but you know, and they can say it to the blue in the face. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm not wanting to have my site, my customers, put at risk. So that's the first thing. Now, originally, when they were bringing this in, they said they were going to fine sites who didn't have it. I think it was 500k. So if you had several sites, you're probably already in debt for several million. Now, apparently that seems to have been dropped. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that seems to be the case. The second one was, they were saying they were going to block sites. Now, from what I'm reading, they can only ask for sites to be blocked, so that might not be possible. So if you can't do either fine or block sites, then quite honestly they've got no power. It's not really worth putting on. The other third one to it is, from what I'm reading, and I could be wrong, they have to contact you a few times, so they've got to get hold of your email address and clarify or even write to you. So again, I mean, that ain't going to be too easy, because of the new Data Protection Act things. Your details aren't anywhere online anymore. They used to be. They're sort of hidden just in case they were incorrect or something. So, well, in the past people paid a £5 or something to have the details hidden. I don't think they need to now. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on how that works. Now, this is the nonsense, by the way. It doesn't just apply to UK sites, it applies to sites worldwide. And there's some other rubbish, such as they say they're going to contact the payment suppliers and tell them to stop using you. Well, if I was a payment firm, I wouldn't give a rat's ass. If you're an American firm or wherever, why would you care? I mean, why would you stop taking money? Hang on. Oh. just walking past somebody there. I'm all tangled up as well with the dogs. It's a bit of a nightmare. They'll probably start barking soon. There's a little dog they'd like to bark at. Oh shit. Come on, you. One of them slipped off his collar, but he's almost better off not being on it. Come on. Sorry, I'm just... Oh, I can't be bothered editing this bit out. There we go. Come on. I might as well just keep talking, otherwise I'll forget my thread. I'm getting in the car soon, so you'll have that to deal with. Here we go. Come on. Hang on. Come on. Come on. There we go. I knew they'd bark. Oh, chaos. This is what life's like. Pure chaos. Let's see. Oh dear. Right. I'll just keep talking. This bit will be... You're not going to be listening to much. I'm just putting them in. I can't be asked editing it out. Well, I might do. We'll see how rubbish this sounds. So I've got very naughty dogs. In you get. Come on. Oh, better let you all go on there.